Hello everyone, in this tutorial I will go over stuff that is enabled when you reach level 25. Getting your own workshop, choosing your inclinations, and traveling. I hope you got 100 spare pounds to spend on that workshop. If so, then let's go. So first you can choose your inclinations. That's what you see when you first log in after reaching level 25. So what does it mean? Well, that's a new mechanic. You can grow your faith by attending mass at church. Your behavior affects your virtue or sin bar. If you attend mass or confess your sins, you gain virtue. If you fight in an army or try to gain power by being candidate in elections, you gain sin. To make it clear, virtue and sin, it's one bar. If you have 90% virtue and do something bad, it will drop to maybe like 40%, then it might drop to 0, and only then you will start to gain sin. So what are the inclinations? They define your character's favorite virtue and sin. Your chosen virtue and sin gives you a small bonus when you reach 40% on the bar, and a big bonus when you reach 80%. Each virtue and sin has different bonuses. Those are all described here. Feel free to read the descriptions and choose whatever you want. You can change that later, so choose wisely. Wisely is not an option, by the way. Keep in mind that you can't just choose direct opposites. So if you are lazy, you can't be hardworking at the same time. You get this. I will mention two sins that may be interesting, useful in certain conditions. Anger is good for fighting. It gives you a small boost, which is great if you are going to focus on fighting in armies. And Acadia, I don't know how to pronounce this. Well, if you know what you're doing, it's great. It lets you get black stones. Might be useful in certain conditions. It's kind of one of those mysteries in this game you might want to discover. So what will I choose? Let's say friendship and this one. Can be. Okay. So submit query. Here we go. Okay. I didn't expect that, to be honest. Okay. Small bug. But I've got my inclination. Okay. Now let me talk about the workshop. Well, it's kind of similar to your field in that there's a difference between classic workshops and special ones. Here I will cover only the classic ones. So now let's click the key icon, workshop, and you can choose your workshop here. Okay, so unlike fields, you can choose any classic workshops you like. Oh, one special one is available in my city. That's interesting, but never mind. So let me show you those based on the wiki. First is Miller, so let's check. The simplest one in my opinion. It has one basic recipe. Whole tree is 10 points, so you can just enable it all at once, and you just make bags of flour from bags of wheat. Then we got baker. Baker makes bread and can also then make some special, more fancy stuff. But generally, bread is what most of the people will buy. The entire skill tree requires 20 points. If you want to enable all recipes and get that chance of preservation of your wood when baking bread, you can invest 1 point here, 1 point here, then 2, 2, 2, and 4. So that's a total of 12 points, and you got most of the tree enabled. Let me see what's next. Butter. A butter turns raw meat into edible pieces of meat. In some regions, butters can also make some hams. Depends on the area. Those are more fancy, luxurious food. So yeah, the skill tree requires 20 points. There is no image, but don't worry. If you want to go all the way to the last skill, which lets you get sometimes a special stake randomly when producing meat, then you need 1 point here, 1 point here, then 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, and 4 points. Similar to baker, that's 12 points, and you got it. Most of the tree is enabled. Blacksmith. Blacksmith is a little more complicated. You can't count on me in matters of this profession. It's kind of well, let me show you. First of all, as you can see, what you can make depends strongly on your skills. So if you are apprentice, you can make those. To make those, you need to be companion, and so on and so on. Expert is enough to make most of the stuff. Also, blacksmith is unique in a way that some things have multiple ways to be produced. For example, you need more materials but can do it faster, or less materials but it takes more time. Kinda weird. I'm not experienced, as none of my characters was ever a blacksmith. The entire skill tree requires 25 points. If you want to reach expert as soon as possible, expert can already do most of the interesting things like swords and axes. Then you need 1 point here. Then, well, 1 point then for blast. No. Yes, for blast furnace. Then companion, production efficiency, and now you can get an expert. I think, yeah, that's for 9 points. Some special skills are useful for particular products. I'm not sure if blacksmith is the best possible choice for a newbie. That's because you often need expensive materials to make stuff that is actually useful, and to make anything any useful you often need multiple days. Like first make a blade, then sharpen it, you know, that stuff. So yeah, more complicated. A weaver. One of my characters is a weaver, actually. Weaver can make clothes. History requires 30 points, and it's also divided into multiple different levels based on the skill, let's say. You might want to get companion or expert to do most of the stuff. If you want to get to expert, well, that's 1, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points. Not that bad. You can get master for additional 5. That's good if you live in an area where you can make a tapestry. Otherwise, not if you're just starting out. Also, this skill is useful if your goal is to make large sails for ships. So yeah. Now, carpenter. I also was never a carpenter on any of my characters, but let's see. Well, carpenter makes most of furniture, and also ladders, which are useful in orchards, and the boats that are useful in lakes. 24 points for this 3. If you want to get to expert, well, 1 point for apprentice, then 1 point, so now 2 points for lightweight board milling, then 3, 4 companion, 5, 6 for painting the wheel, and up to 9 and you're expert. Then master is like 5. Some of them are good for certain stuff. Mast maker is useful if you want to participate in building of big ships, so yeah. Now we have a sculpture. Yeah, sculpture. A sculpture makes some pieces of garden furniture, or can be used in home as well. Some of that furniture, some statuettes, some fountains, a lot of useful stuff if you're a planning assistant in your city, and plant pots that are useful for botanists. If you want to get expert, you need 9 points. 1 for apprentice, then 1 for stonecutter, then 2 for companion, stonemason now, and finally expert. What does master? Yeah, bigger things. And also, if your focus is making pots for botanists, sometimes happens, then potter, you should enable this skill, because you definitely want your pots to have max durability. And finally, botanist. That's on my main character. Botanist can grow plants and then cut them, so they can be used by planning assistant to decorate the town or by you to decorate your garden. This skill tree requires 20 points, and I would invest 12 immediately, enable every skin just without maxing it out. Then, well, flower grower and nursery owner are important, so you can max them out as soon as possible. And apprentice as last. Experience, okay, but not the most important thing in my opinion. Botanist has a special mechanic I will show you in a while. But for now, let's look at my character. I will be a butcher here. So let's buy the workshop. Here we go. Now, okay, it redirected me to my house, but my house is too small to see my 3D workshop, so yeah. But I can enter my my workshop here, and I can see all my possible productions. It's the same for every profession. By the way, you can also reset your workshop. However, you will need to pay again for your new workshop, so don't do that unless you know what you're doing. And you can see how to guides here. Well, that's an interesting thing. How to guide? Well, how to guides let you make some special stuff that's not available by default. Each thing is linked to a profession, but if you change your profession, you don't lose your skills, your guides you learned. They are just unavailable until you switch back. Those guides are expensive, so unless you need them for something specific, don't bother buying random ones. Oh, by the way, some tools can be useful for certain professions. I will not find it, but a butcher can get a special knife. No, there's no mention of it. But for example, butcher can use a special knife to get a small bonus, so some professions have that kind of stuff. Okay, and one more thing, if you want to do something in your workshop, the things you need for that work need to be at home. Okay, so I talked about botanist. Let me show you what's so special about a botanist. Connect and my other character. Well, a botanist can has to, let's say, grow seeds. So you can plant something in pots. You have 6 slots. You need a pot. If you have a pot, you can plant some. Every plant needs water. Trees can be watered once a day, bushes once per 8 hours, and flowers once 6 hours. If you don't water your plant, it just dies. So that's a special thing about being a botanist. I will water my plants, sorry. So that's it. And now let me switch back to my new character, and I will show you all the stuff related to travel. You know, once you reach level 25, you can travel around the kingdoms. You can move 2 nodes a day, or if you have the bigger Lord pack, it's Lord of the Sword, based on the French nobility, because the game is French. You can travel 3 nodes. But before you travel, you need to know certain things. First of all, please make sure to check out local laws on the forum, especially if you're trying to enter another duchy. You can try doing that without checking that stuff out, but don't be shocked if an army kills you or you get called to the court to answer some questions. There are travel restrictions in some areas. Don't judge the ones who make them. It's often because of some safety issues, real ones. One of my characters used to be in a duchy council and enforcing that because stuff happens, let's say. Also, you can rob on the roads or be robbed. That's why traveling in a group is safer than alone, because a robber group can be up to 5 people. If you travel in a group of 5 people yourself, I don't think that robbers will be able to do much to you. Keep in mind that robbing is illegal, so you will definitely get in trouble if someone sees that it's you trying to rob them. Well, okay. I think that I covered everything. So that's it for today. I might make some tutorials in the future if something is needed, though I'm not sure. Thanks for watching. Bye.